So guys, I have connected the Raspberry Pi Pico with this L298N motor driver module here, and right now the motor 1 is moving clockwise, and now the motor 2 is moving counterclockwise. Guys, this is an L298N motor driver module, and it can control motors like these. Yeah. Okay, so it comes with an you have to like connect it with another power supply here, like I have here these wires here. It has, this is the, okay, so here's the ground. Okay, here's the ground. Here's the 12 volt pin. You can either supply the 12 volts or 5 volts. And okay, this 5 volt pin is input and output pin. It can like, it depends on the power supply here. If you don't connect the VCC here, then it will be the input pin, and yeah, if you supply it here, then it will be the output pin. So yeah, okay, so now I'm just gonna connect these. I'm just gonna put this in the 12 volt pin, and I'm gonna tighten the screws. Okay, this one is a little bit different. You have to first connect the ground, and then I'll just connect this male to female jumper wire here. I'm just gonna put it here, just like that, and you will also need, of course, a Raspberry Pi Pico. I have removed these LEDs. Okay, so these are some pins I connected. Guys, these pins are connected parallel to the pins of the Raspberry Pi Pico. This first one is the ground pin. This is GPIO 2, GPIO 3, GPIO 4, and GPIO 5. And these will be connected to these input pins. These are the pins you can like give input to the. You can give input to. You can control the motors through like these 4 pins. These are in 1, in 2, in 3, and in 4. Here. Input 1, input 2, input 3, input 4, and these are enable pins. You can control the speed of the motor through these using PWM signals, but we're not gonna be using those in this tutorial. Okay, so now. So guys, these are some female to female jumper wires. I'm just gonna connect them to these input pins of the L298N. And there goes the last one. Yep. Okay, so now we're gonna be connecting these pins here. Yeah, there we go. And guys, these two pins are input 1 and input 2, and they're connected to GPIO 1 and GPIO 2 here. So guys, these two are the other two input pins, and they are going to be connected to
input 3 is going to be connected to GPIO 4, and input 5 is going to be connected. Input 4 is going to be connected to GPIO 5. So guys, this here is the ground pin. This next one here is the input 1, which is connected to GPIO 2. This is input 2, which is connected to GPIO 3. This is input 3, which is connected to GPIO 4, and this 4, which is connected to GPIO 5.
So guys, I'm just gonna connect this USB cable here to the Raspberry Pi Pico. I'm just gonna press this boot cell button while doing it. There we go. And
so guys, as soon as you plug the USB cable to the Raspberry Pi Pico, it's gonna take you here. As this is the default menu of the Raspberry Pi Pico, I'm just gonna drag MicroPython here in this folder RPI-RP2, and okay, so now I'm just gonna. So also, if MicroPython is a Python framework which lets you code in microcontrollers like Raspberry Pi Pico and ESP32. So guys, here we are in thonny. Thonny is an IDE, an integrated development environment. It lets us code in Python and MicroPython. Okay, so local Python 3 will be the default setting of thonny, but if you have MicroPython installed, you can just select this one, MicroPython Raspberry Pi Pico.com3. Okay, so there we go. MicroPython, now it will run MicroPython, and here's all my code. First, I imported the pin function from the machine library. Then I imported utime, which is the time library. Then we got these. This input 1 is the input 1 of L298N motor driver module. And okay, so input 2, input 3, and input 4, same here. And then we got this input, this is GPIO 2, GPIO 3, GPIO 4, and GPIO 5. And here is where we define that pin.out, and that GPIO, that Raspberry Pi Pico will give output to these GPIO pins. Here we got GPIO 2, GPIO 3, GPIO 4, and GPIO 5. Then, and here is where I define the movement of the motors here. And also, input 1 and input 2 are motor 1, and input 3 and input 4 are motor 2 here. Okay, so now let's just go to the movement here. Yeah. So input 1 dot value equals 1. 1 means true and 0 means false. Okay, so input 2 will be 0 at that time. So motor 1 will rotate clockwise for 5 seconds. Then and after that and then the motor 2, which is input 3 and input 4. Input 3 value equals 1, which means the input 3 is true, and input 4 is false at the moment. They will rotate for 2 seconds, and then the motor 1 will spin counterclockwise after 5 seconds for 2 seconds. It'll rotate counterclockwise for 2 seconds, and motor 2 will actually rotate will also actually rotate counterclockwise, but for 5 seconds, and then all of them will turn off as all of the values are equal to 0 now. Okay, so I hope you get what I'm trying to say here. And also, I should actually print something here. So guys, I'm just gonna print some lines here, like motor 1 is moving clockwise, and motor 2 moving clockwise, and stuff like that. these lines are just going to show the status of the motors, but they're optional. If you like, if you don't want to write them, you just don't have to. I'm just gonna write them here because like I just want to show like whatever task the motor is performing at the moment. So guys, I'm just gonna run the code, but if any of you is wondering why is there this red light here, it indicates that this L298N motor driver module is working at the moment. So yeah, okay, so just gonna run the code. Motor 1 is moving clockwise. It says motor 1 moving clockwise. Motor 2 is moving counterclockwise. Now motor 1 is moving counterclockwise, and motor 2 is moving clockwise. Also, I made this change here. Motor 2 was moving clockwise at the end, and it was moving counterclockwise in the beginning. So I just removed counter from here and pasted it here. And guys, if you like my content, please like the video and subscribe my channel. And if you want to know how to install MicroPython, please click here.